Welcome back to another episode of E-Weekly, your home for campus news. This week we have the community's reaction to the 4 sports programs cut, how the university has responded, as well as events that have happened around EMU. Evan Hensley has sports, Gabrielle Reed has the dish, and E-Weekly has you in mind. This is E-Weekly.
Welcome to E-Weekly, everyone. I'm Evan Hensley.
And I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. We're back with another E-Weekly, and it's hard to believe it's our second to last one of the school year.
It really is, Nina. We're almost done with not only the ETV season for me, my career here at EMU. The year somehow managed to fly by and drag at the same time. We'll keep on fighting for now. Nina has some news for us.
On Tuesday, March 27th, students and faculty marched to President Smith's office in Welch Hall to present him with a set of demands for budget changes. Many of the students marching were members of the cut sports teams. About 50 members of EMU's campus met around the fountain at Welch Hall as a follow-up to the union budget meeting that was held on March 22nd. Andrew Maniotz, an EMU professor of arts and design, addressed the crowd and led chants before the group started towards the president's office. There was no intimidation with going straight to the man himself and voicing their frustrations with the university with Smith face to face. Some of the demands included an immediate halt on the cuts to sports and staff, halting any new building projects, and leaving the MAC to join another athletic conference. Smith's immediate response was that he would look over the demands and discuss them with the board when he could get a hold of Chairman Webb. They did read over the demands, and I'll have some more details on the response in a moment.
Over a month ago, 300 upset Ypsilanti residents voiced their anger and frustration over continued disappointing mail delivery in the city. Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell prompted a town hall meeting in mid-February, and there was still been lack of response from the Postmaster General. Ypsi Postmaster Alicia Brown and District Manager of USPS Detroit, Lee A. Thompson, promised to have more community meetings and communication outlets to allow the community to continue to voice their ideas. Dingell wrote to the postmaster, bringing attention to the complaints while also pointing out that they have failed to follow through on their commitments to meet regularly and hear out the residents. Despite not being heard from in a while, Brown still holds her position as postmaster. In her letter, Dingell requested a written response for the postmaster, outlined changes to the system. Dingell says the format goes against the spirit of USPS's commitment to be transparent and accountable.
Heading back to the backlash over the recent changes, EMU's response was not one that pleased the demands handed to them. The university stated that they could not remove the cuts already enacted. EMU also responded saying it would not put a halt to the new building projects either. Concerning the demand to leave the MAC, EMU said it would not do so as well. They explained that it would not only require an upfront payment of $10 million to leave the MAC, but also the process of being invited in to join a new conference would also cost an upfront payment. In addition, it would cancel future football game guarantee contracts with other schools. It also responded saying that the football program generates a vast majority of revenue through game guarantees, broadcasting with ESPN, revenue sharing with the MAC conference, licensing, and ticket sales. Documents show that in 2017, EMU received $1.6 million from the MAC and an additional $2.8 million from the NCAA. A complete list of the responses from the budget-related demands can be found on emich.edu/budget-information/university-response.
11 EMU students tried to put their knowledge from the classroom into the real-world business situation. The business students tried to convince a client, played by a judge, to commit to a savings plan. 3 students walked away with a collective $850, with top $500 prize going to Alexander Jewell. Louis Hershey is the head of the marketing department at EMU and mentioned that this opportunity helps students get real-world practice and experience while also building relationships. Sponsors of the program also benefit as they can recruit interns, build relationships in students, and help students realize their career goals. Northwestern Mutual sponsored the competition that occurred a few weeks ago, as their internship program has been ranked in the top 10 in the nation for the past 22 years. Multiple students were invited to interview with Northwestern Mutual after successful performances at the competition. Multiple new companies have shown interest in partnering with EMU and their sales institute, as well as participating in future competitions. There is more eWeekly after the break. Stay with us. We'll have more after these messages.
A typical day will start for the delivery staff because they are central to what we do. Our delivery staff gets here at about 9:30 in the morning. They get their route for the day. Then they prep their vehicle, they clean it out, make sure it's ready to go. They get their hot boxes all set and ready. Valley Food Services, who is our commissary for our food preparation, will come to Meals on Wheels between 9:45 and 10 a.m. They get here, we count out the meals, we temp them to make sure they're at the appropriate heat. Then they section them out and count, make sure we have the exact number of meals we need, and then they get the sides that go along with the hot entrees, and they have that bag and they put that in a cooler, and then they load that into their vehicle. Then they do their exit checkout, and then they're ready to go on their route. So typically they're out of here no later than 10:15, 10:30. Then they start their deliveries, and it takes them about 2 to 2.5 hours to make those deliveries. So for myself and our office staff, I typically get here about 8:30 to open the office. We check our messages. Then we also do some prep work for the routes. If there needs to be some logistical changes for routing, we try to do that. Typically I start by answering emails from volunteers and from our funders, and then my work kind of starts into doing some grant writing and who I have to go meet with today, if I have to meet with a funder or a partner program. And then Carrie does a lot more of the office work as well. So between our primary hours, Carrie will also probably do anywhere between 1 and 3 intake calls for clients who might need to get on our program. So she does that, and it takes roughly about an hour to do that over the phone with a client. She'll kind of help with all the paperwork that we have to file from a state level, sets up appointments for our nursing staff and nursing students to go out and do health assessments for the clients on a daily basis. And then she also just kind of maintains the facility to make sure the upkeep is going well.
My favorite band just put out a new CD. I was super excited. I've been waiting forever for it to come out. But I was having a little cash flow problem. I asked some of my friends if they had the new CD yet, and they said I could get it for free if I found a pirated copy online. Without hesitation, I went on my computer and I found a website that had a free pirated copy, and I clicked download. It was that simple. After downloading it, I went to my computer and I opened my music player to listen to it, but my computer had slowed down to almost a stop. All I ended up with was a virus. Not my band's album. I guess when you pirate anything, you run the risk of an infection. Not to mention if you get caught, there could be legal issues. It really does pay to pay. My name is Emma, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
We hope you had a wonderful weekend and a nice Easter as well. Hopefully the end of the semester isn't getting to you too much. We'll have a loaded Eagle Encounters later with plenty of opportunities for you to relax and unwind around campus. For now, Evan and I have some more news.
Huron Valley Pace Day Health Center will be facing major renovations. The United Methodist Retirement Communities has officially broken ground on the $6.6 million addition. This renovation will double the size and capacity of one of its buildings. A grant from the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation Incorporation made this possible. The Maryland-based group donated $1 million to the cause. The United Methodist Retirement Communities Foundation donated $500,000, while the rest of the money came from bond fundraising. Huron Valley Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly, or PACE, allows adults 55 and older to live independently in their own homes. Huron Valley PACE focuses on lower-income adults in the southeast Michigan area. The new additions to the facility will allow for even more participants to be accommodated.
EMU students of the Arts Advocacy class, traveled to Washington, D.C. to advocate for arts programs to receive government funding. March 12th and 13th, the students attended the Americans for Arts Conference. The Arts Advocacy class is taught by Susan Booth, who is a professor and the program director of EMU's Arts and Management and Administration programs. At the conference, the students had the opportunity to speak to legislators about the importance of art and the need for art programs and federal funding for them. They also got to meet other students and professionals in the industry. The conference happens every year, however, the arts advocacy class is only offered every few years. The students who went on the trip created a blog site to share their experience. They have posted blogs ranging from policy issues to photography.
In a little bit, I'll have Eagle sports and maybe just a little Wolverine sports too. But for now, we'll throw things over to Gabrielle Reed with this week's Dish.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you, Eagles, for tuning in to another episode of Eastern Weekly. I am Gabrielle Reed, and I can't wait to dish about what's happening this week on Eastern Weekly. With so much going on within our sports department, I thought it would be nice to highlight Eastern Michigan's athletic director, Mr. Scott Weatherby. Weatherby became the Vice President and Director of Athletics on June 26th of 2017. Prior to coming to EMU, he worked at Mississippi State's University's sports program. Altogether, he has 20 years of experience working in intercollegiate athletics. Weatherby was recently named one of College Ad's 2017 Next Up Honorees, recognizing senior-level administrators believed to be ready to take the next step in the industry. Weatherby is finishing up his first of 5 years with his contract with EMU. But how has he remained in sports administration for so long? Weatherby credits his love for sports, his hard work ethic, and his ability to see the best in his peers and student athletes. Here at Eastern Weekly, we just want to show support for our sports department during this trying time. We really care, and we empathize with all our student athletes and athletic staff. Truly, keep up the good work. Speaking of sports, make sure you keep watching to hear Evan Hensley give an update on sports after the break. As always, I am your host, Gabrielle Reed. Have a great weekend and finish the semester strong.
Hi, my name is Shanna Gilkison, and ETV has been a very important part of my life, especially for the last 4 years.
I got my start at ETV in my third semester at Eastern from fellow students, and it's been a great experience.
Working with all these new people that I didn't know before, it's very awesome just seeing how willing people are to get together and create something from scratch.
Hi, I'm Shanna Gilkison for Eastern Weekly, and this is E-Walking.
I will also be hosting and producing a sort of like a late night style talk show.
Everyone that's here wants to be here. They care to be here. They want to work. They want to learn. And with that kind of environment, everybody benefits.
I tell you, I've been doing really well, very successful here at Eastern, but it wasn't until I really became part of the ETV club that I really felt like I was getting more of what I needed as a student.
We decided that we wanted to do things above and beyond our coursework, so I was part of founding the ETV student org.
It just so happened that Shanna was in one of my classes, and she told me to come, and I showed up, and it was very warm welcome. Like, everybody was very nice to me right away, and they actually had an idea to make a sitcom, or actually they called it a soap opera at that time, and they said they had they weren't sure exactly what they wanted, but they wanted one thing. They knew that they wanted this guy, his name is Ramon, to be their main character. I mean, that was kind of how the show Week at a Glance kind of took off.
Beyond Eastern's walls, when I'm done here, I'll probably be working with some people from ETV, again, professionally. And I think a lot of students don't take advantage of what they should with organizations on campus, and ETV is one of the best.
So I tried logging into my .emish account and it wouldn't let me in. So I went down to the help desk and they said I had already changed my password. No I didn't. Shortly after that, my apartment was broken into. Yeah, if you put 2 and 2 together, you know where they go. My address. They got my password, got onto my .emish account, and stole my class schedule and my home address. They knew when I wasn't gonna be home. I
I should have known that a password of ABCD1234 isn't too hard to guess. Now, I'm more careful about choosing a password. I take a word that's 8 to 10 letters long that isn't too personal to me, and I change some characters around. For example, the word college, C-O-L-L-E-G-E. I can change the L's to 7s and the E's to question marks. Don't use college, okay? You have passwords for a reason. Take the time to make one that is unique and easy for you to remember, yet hard for someone else to figure out. My name is Daniel, and I'm trying to be safe.
I'm addicted to Facebook. I'm always on it. I was checking on my feeds one day when I noticed an ad to test and keep an iPad. So I clicked the link. All I needed to give it was my contact info. You know, home address, email address, cell phone number. Seems pretty easy to get a free iPad. A week goes by, and I never get a new iPad. And I noticed I was getting hundreds of text ads on my phone. Because of all the extra text messages sent to my phone, my bill went up $10. Yeah, I wasn't getting a free iPad. They were just fishing for my phone number to sell to advertisers. I know there are legitimate ads on Facebook, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. My name is Nate, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Welcome back. This is Eagle Sports, and I'm Evan Hensley. Now EMU's March Madness run fell quite short of their ultimate goal, but our Wolverine neighbors down the road found themselves in the championship game for the second time in 6 years. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship took place on Monday night down in San Antonio, and just about everyone enjoyed the game unless you were a fan of the Maize and Blue. The Villanova Wildcats, one of the most dominant teams I've seen, not just this season, but in recent college basketball history, took on the Michigan Wolverines, who were one of the hottest teams coming into the tournament. After an early Michigan lead in the first half, it was all Wildcats, who left Texas with a 79-62 victory. The Wildcats have been led all season long by National Player of the Year Jalen Brunson. But the star of the night came in six-man Dante DiVincenzo, who dropped 31 points off the bench. This was the Wildcats' second championship in 3 years and now puts head coach Jay Wright in the conversation as one of the best coaches in the sport. U of M's run shouldn't go unrecognized, though. They made quite a bit of noise in the tournament and were a lot of fun to watch. Moving over to the Diamond, EMU baseball traveled down to Bowling Green, Ohio to face off against the Falcons of Bowling Green State University. In the first game of the weekend road series saw the Eagles dominating late to win 9-2. The team scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings to pull away from a 2-2 tie in the 6th inning. In Game 2, the book was flipped. The Falcons were able to dominate late, and they walked away with a 10-3 win. With the score tie going to the bottom of the 4th, the Falcons homered twice on their way to a 5-run inning. In Game 3, the Eagles were able to collect the series win as they edged out the Eagles 4-3. The Falcons attempted to rally in the bottom of the 9th, but Eagle closer Caleb Hester was able to end the rally. Mitchell Sparks was able to collect his 4th win on the season as a reliever in this matchup as the Eagles improved to 8-17 on the season. The team would have had their revenge day off against Michigan State, but that game was delayed and pushed back. MSU was the team that stole their former head coach Mark Van Emade from the Eagles back in December. The softball team was set for a doubleheader against Toledo on Tuesday, but the second game was called due to weather. The team fell 5-2 in the one game, which has their record at an ugly 4-26 on the season. This loss has extended their losing streak to a whopping 18 games. The team collected double errors that they did hit with 4 errors and only 2 total hits on the day as the team struggled to connect on the offense. It will be an uphill battle today as the team travels down the road to Ann Arbor to face against the number 17 ranked Michigan Wolverines. Last but not least, the football team's spring game is taking place at Rynearson Stadium on Saturday. Kickoff for the spring game will be at 3. This game will be a preview of what is to come with Chris Creighton's team in the 2018 season, and will be interesting to watch the quarterback situation as Brogan Roback will be graduating. That's all I have this week. This was Eagle Sports. I'm Evan Hensley.
So I typically would describe Meals on Wheels in 3 words. Support. What I mean by support is having somebody there every day you can count on, who's going to be there with a smile and a hot meal for you.
First, I would say that I would be with them if I could, delivering for the people.
Observant?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say, well, more than a meal. I guess that's 4, but close enough.
It's helpful. I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing something for you should make you feel better.
Abundance.
Fulfilling is probably the main top one.
I think that we are a compassionate organization.
I think it's great. I give it thumbs up.
It keeps us independent.
Yes.
It's the easiest, most fulfilling job I've ever had.
It keeps us independent so we don't have to depend on anybody.
Independence.
Caring and steady and present, like we're present for these people, every day.
Joyful, brings a lot of peace and a lot of happiness to you at the end of the day.
Caring, responsible.
I think vital to the community.
3 words? I think it's great, actually. Not trying to steal from Tony the Tiger, but yeah, it's great.
It teaches you portion control.
Loving the community that they work in, trying to make the community better.
Helpfulness.
Actually, it's fun. Believe it or not, it's really fun and fulfilling to be doing this type of thing.
Patience.
It pulls at your heartstrings, it does. And it doesn't matter whether you're out en route delivering meals or you're in the office on the phone.
Reliable.
Hope. So people feel like they have hope, that they can stay in their home for as long as possible. I think all of us want to be where we're feeling most comfortable.
Hidden, because we don't advertise. You know about the program, yet you don't think about the program.
I think we're out there helping people more than a lot of people even know, so I think it's a very helpful program. I think it's a much needed program that there's a lot of people in our community who just really could use a program like Meals on Wheels that maybe don't even realize that it's there for them.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm Gordon. I'm here about your job opening. Hi, I'm here about the job. Hi. The word you'll hear most often during a job hunt? No. One expert says you can expect 20 rejections before you get your first maybe. So don't be down on yourself. Be sure your resume is flawless, or you'll never see the inside of an interview suite. Be punctual for interviews, but no earlier than 5 minutes. A firm handshake is important. And look the interviewer in the eye. Don't be a downer, dude. Speak in positive terms about school and your previous employers. Sit alertly during your interview and show you're human. Smile a little. And follow up every interview with a thank you letter, expressing your interest in the job and why you think you're qualified.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer.
Welcome back to eWeekly. As promised, Jaden Short is here with Eagle Encounters and all the opportunities to have a little bit of fun for this weekend. Be sure to stockpile up on those good vibes while you can.
Thank you, Nina. I'm Jaden Short, and this is Eagle Encounters, everything you need to know about what's happening around campus. With the end of the semester coming up, be sure to have some fun and unwind between all of the studying. Campus is sure to present plenty of opportunities for you to let your hair down a little. Starting things off is the 2018 Drag Show in the Student Center Ballroom. This Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. This show will feature very talented drag queens from all around the United States. Check out the show and partake in the Q&A session after the show. Seating and food will be on a first-come, first-served basis. This event is LVC approved. If you don't want to check out the drag show, head over to room 300 in the Student Center to check out Lyric Lounge, a slam poetry event. This energetic movement is co-sponsored by the Poetry Society and gives us a look at the important issues of our generation. This event is free and open to the public. EMU Theater is back at it again this weekend with Detroit 67. This play will take a look at the Detroit riots in the summer of 1967 through tears, humor, rage, and love. Tickets are $15 and there will be showings this weekend at 7 on Friday and Saturday, as well as the show on Sunday at 2. If you can't make it this weekend, come back next weekend. They'll be performing Detroit 67 again. Friday Night Movie is back with the showing of I, Tonya. This Oscar-recognized movie takes a look at Tonya Harding and her legacy on and off the ice on the 1991 Olympics. There will be showings at 8 and 11:30. Laugh a Minute Enterprises will be performing their final showcase of the semester this Friday at 8 o'clock in room 310 of the Student Center. This was busy and successful semester for the improv troupe, but you don't want to miss this final performance of the year. As always, it's free and it will be a good time. Take advantage of the Wellness Booth next Monday, April 9th from 4 to 6 in the rec. Take a load off and leave the stress at the door as you play with some pups. As for the weather, this weekend it'll be very consistent. The high temperatures will reach an even 40 degrees all 3 days this weekend. Nice enough for a hoodie and a spring jacket. We're almost there, Eagles. Have a nice week. I'm Jaden Schwartz, and this has been Eagle Encounters.
Thank you, Jaden. The finals are coming up and a great way to study. The finals are coming up. It's a great way to study and take part in a little brain food. Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning took part in Munch Madness bracket and pinned snacks head-to-head to determine which was the best snack of them all. David Pierce Anderson and Jackson Touchberry went in depth in their choices and the bracket breakdown yesterday on Still on the Air, and we decided to get in on a little fun as well. So let's see what we got here, guys.
So what do we think? Whose do you like the best?
Well, me and Nina's. Obviously, yeah.
Me and Nina's?
I think the pizza rolls are great, even though I did Chex Mix because, you know, health conscious. Your girl's trying to get healthy.
I respect that. Although I feel bad saying this, but Chex Mix is not anywhere on my list.
Wow.
Yeah, because pizza rolls is it's like real gooey in the middle and like crunchy on the outside. You're getting like the best of both worlds.
Exactly, you got all of it there.
I think the hardest decision I've ever had to make was choosing between Cheez-Its and pizza rolls. Like, it was tough. Like, that was a little bit round 2 matchup. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that was left out of this. I'll complain about. I mean, we can all roll our eyes at David's. At Fritos.
Oh,
are you kidding me? It's
Fritos. Yeah. Come on, David.
They're not versatile
not
or anything.
Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, Fritos is not the answer.
So pizza rolls for the win.
A snack break is no crime when studying. Maybe when you run out of Cheez-Its, head over to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and follow ETV at EMU. You can watch all of our shows there whenever you want. That's all from me. I'm Evan Hensley.
And I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. We'll see you next week to say our final goodbye for the school year.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.